name is Sean D. Boys. I actually just wanted to make this video really just to say thank you for everyone that supported me so far, and for the people that hopefully will take a look and see what I've been through and what my story is basically.
So how does a man with that kind of background go completely bonkers and do something like that? There's got to be more to the story to this. I'm not saying any of it was right, and if this guy did it, then it's huge. But was this a fall dude? What There's so many unanswered questions. I've got a ton of them now. This story is fascinating. It's tragic, but it just seems very, very strange. Everything about this is strange, and the right needs to be labeled as some kind of extremist, and this is the narrative that they're going to go with. That's what I feel.
Sean D. Boys. I actually just wanted to make this video really just to say thank you for everyone that supported me so far, and for the people that hopefully will take a look and see what I've been through and what my story is basically. I guess this May will be 11 years when I was shot 4 times actually, and had some grenade shrapnel basically peppered throughout my body. I grew up in New York, New City, New York, and 9/11 occurred when I was a junior in high school, and very athletic, decent student, and I was accepted to U.S. Merchant Marine Academy and a couple other colleges, but I just decided to go to the military, just basically because I was pissed off, just like everyone else would. But there was actually no reason I could think of not to go, and that's what I did. So that's what I thought was right to do, and that's what happened. But so I went to Haiti and I went to Iraq twice, but throughout that I worked my way. I was an anti-tank assaultman by trade, and then I went to Scout Sniper School, deployed the first time to Iraq, doing sniping, and then went to Reconnaissance Battalion. And then within a couple months of that deployment to Iraq, I was hit by 2 IEDs. I was actually blown out of the vehicle the second time and drugged like 100 yards. Then 2 weeks later, I think, or 2 weeks later exactly, I was actually the point man on a raid going into a warehouse that we had intelligence of, and basically I got cut off. I went into the warehouse, and the second guy behind me took a hard right. This is at night. He turned his flashlight on. A machine gun basically opened up and basically took him out right off the bat. But by then I was actually across the warehouse, and my team leader backed out of the warehouse, or that room. And from there, just obviously, it didn't go well. But I dropped to a knee. I got shot actually twice, one on my ankle and one on my thigh, and actually came out and went back in. I was kind of in a kneeling position, so it was such a weird spot. But I got the guy that actually shot Deal, and basically I stumbled up to the wall that they were hidden behind because there's absolutely nothing there. And I leaned into the window, and I was firing down to the right. And actually, just because that's where the machine gun was, there's a lot going on in between all this stuff, so it's not as clear cut as what I'm explaining, but this is a quick rundown. And so I was shot actually right here, came out right here, so then I went to shoot to the left because that's where I got shot from that time. And then I got smacked in the helmet by the guy. He was within arm's distance, but this is dark, and I was actually firing that direction right then, but I think I was honestly like shooting right around him. He was right there, and I felt that stud on my helmet, and then it was a skull-crushing explosion that occurred, and from there, I obviously, as soon as that happened, I knew that something was wrong because it felt like my skull got crushed in by a sledgehammer, and I feel like I got a couple steps in or whatever, but I probably just like stumbled back or went limp or whatever. But I was still somewhat conscious. I couldn't move or anything, so I did see another guy, run down that alleyway, and that's kind of where everything, it really, I remember a lot, but not very clearly. But Deal ended up passing that night, and that's just that was by far, now I'm known as the guy that's been shot 4 times and blown up and still alive. So I have a plate in my on the right side of my skull. This is all plate, about a third of my skull, and the bullet shrapnel is basically in my brain, went right through my helmet. I got shot in the shoulder. I got actually, more, it's kind of a graze through my ankle. One went in my thigh, came out, went back in. Basically, the only girl or only person I could see those scars are my girlfriend, and and the shoulder one, of course. But you know, from then on, you know, it took forever to walk. You know, the best thing I got out of it was Rusty here. Come here, buddy. Rusty, come here. And you know, we've been through a whole lot. Come here, buddy. Come on. Rusty, get over here. And I don't know. I just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown. And you know, he really has kept me sane throughout this, you know, the past 10, 11 years. But you know, I've done everything I can. You know, the best that I can, and I'm doing everything, or I'm trying to do everything right. And I really haven't asked for much. I've tried to fundraise with, you know, numerous nonprofits. I've, you know, went to school, got paralegal certification. My undergrad is in biology and psychology from St. Andrews Presbyterian College, and I worked on my master's, but then I had to go to Texas for this new brace, actually. In Texas for it was a couple months, so I kind of put a halt on my master's. But then I don't know, it gets complicated, of course. But so I'm just trying to get my life back in order, and you know, just a working world, basically. You know, I'm reading between the lines, and I mean, a lot of people say, like, is this in your head or not? But you know, I was supposed to get at least 6, you know, decent jobs, you know, the past 10 years, and you know, always something has come up, and you know, it's not on my end. Like, you know, the job just like seems to slowly dissipate, and you know, I'm reading between the lines that, you know, it's just, I don't know, I guess my disabilities, to me, they're not holding me back, but you know, it seems like other people, or you know, situations seem to hold me back. So I don't know, I'm trying to, you know, set up something that I really love to do, I have a passion for, and I, you know, I have the background for at this point, and you know, my problems really do disappear on the water. And my mobility, you know, I fish on my own, and you know, I've moved out here in the middle of nowhere. Basically, you know, I wanted to, but to heal and work on school and work on myself, and you know, get back to, you know, I'm an outdoorsman as is. I mean, who wouldn't want to be in the water? But you know, it's just one of those things on my pension, and you know, you know, it does put a lot of anxiety on me. Anyone that knows me knows kind of how I am. You know, I push myself, you know, to the extreme, and you know, knowing I have this bullet in my head and everything, you know, it just, I want to get everything done, and you know, I don't want to be on my deathbed, you know, regretting that I never had a chance. So I mean, this is my attempt and my dream, and you know, I really want to accomplish it. And you know, I mean, I understand if it doesn't happen, but you know, this is basically this isn't easy for me, I guess. You know, the last thing I want to do is, you know, ask for this and, you know, not be able to achieve it on my own. But you know, I'm doing what I can with what I had, and that's all we can do. So I do appreciate your help, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the water. Thanks, man.
Just to add to the situation here, I think both sides have been exposed to mind altering operations and all kind of methods through the psychotropical drugs that they give people. This guy could have been on those. People on the left could have been on them. The people that definitely are doing the stuff where they're, you know, changing things about their body, or 99% of those people are on those kind of medications. This is the thing. So, you know, I'm not defending, you know, the guy and say he was a good dude, or he was, you know, this is okay. But I am trying to bring to the attention that I think that we probably need to start looking more, instead of, you know, definitely a lot of the violence is coming from the left, considering what they're doing with their body. But violence in general is mostly being driven, I think, by social situations, social media, all of the psychotropical drugs that they're putting on people now, and just a day-to-day life. This is indicative of a society in decline. And so the guy definitely looks to be, looking at his Facebook page, I don't say he's a right-wing extremist. He's just a dude mad at the government. So was that guy from Pennsylvania who set the governor's mansion on fire. So was the guy who went after the people that Tim Walsh told him to go after, that Lance Bolt guy. But we'll see what happens. All this stuff makes me ask more and more questions. Thank you for watching.